Mario Kart is undoubtedly one of the most iconic franchises in all of gaming. These games are some of the best multiplayer experiences ever crafted and have created memories for millions. But even 14 years after its release and multiple Mario Karts being released after it, one entry in the series has refused to be forgotten. One entry that, despite having its online servers shut down almost a decade ago, can still be played online to this day because of the passion and work of its fanbase. One entry that many consider to be the best Mario Kart game ever made. That game is none other than
Mario Kart Wii! Woohoo!
Released on April 10, 2008, Mario Kart Wii is the sixth game in the Mario Kart series and was the best-selling game on the Wii besides Wii Sports. But I mean, Wii Sports literally came bundled with the system, so you couldn't even escape that game if you tried. Mario Kart Wii was a lot of people's first introduction to the Mario Kart series, myself included, and what a great introduction this game is. It has the ability to appeal to some of the most hardcore gamers with its insane tech, difficult shortcuts, and high skill ceiling, but also appeal to the casual audience with its simple controls and item selection that allows even the worst players to catch up to the dude drifting his ass off in first place. And speaking of controls, Mario Kart Wii has by far the most diverse selection of control schemes in the entire series. There are so many different ways to play this game. For those who prefer using an actual controller and not a literal TV remote, Mario Kart Wii allows you to connect a GameCube controller via the port on the top of the system, as well as allowing you to connect a Wii Classic controller or a Classic Controller Pro for a more traditional control experience. But I mean, that's for nerds. Real ones commit traffic violations using a sideways TV remote slotted inside a plastic mold of a steering wheel. Right? The Wii Wheel. Although just being a piece of plastic, it was a special piece of plastic that came bundled with the game and was its main selling point. Gone were the days of steering with a control stick or D-pad. With the invention of poor sales on their last console and determination to be different, the motion sensing technology present inside the Wii Remote allowed for Nintendo to emulate, they don't really like that word too much, simulate steering an actual wheel. And with the Wii Wheel, they are able to capture this feeling even better and create a genuinely immersive driving experience that is just fun, and actually surprisingly holds up really well to this day. Before a few months ago, I hadn't played Mario Kart Wii this way in a long time, since whenever I did play the game, I was playing on actual hardware because I didn't have my childhood Wii or Wii U anymore. But after discovering that actual hardware has the ability to connect real Wii remotes, I found one of my old remotes, and for the first time in years, I was able to play Mario Kart Wii the way I used to play it all throughout my childhood, and was incredibly surprised at how well it held up and how much more fun I was having racing on some of my favorite tracks. Oh yeah, the tracks. Mario Kart Wii has literally the best base selection of tracks in the entire series, and you cannot argue against that. I say base track selection because the DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe hasn't fully been revealed yet, and that could have a better track selection in the end, and is certainly shaping up to, and the only reason for that is the amount of tracks from Wii being added to that game. But for now, I think it's pretty commonly accepted that Wii has the best base selection of tracks in the series. I mean, you have tracks like Mushroom Gorge, Toad's Factory, Coconut Mall, and DK Summit, just to name some of the most iconic. And even some of the lesser known tracks like Daisy Circuit, Dry Ruins, and Moonview Highway are amazing. I mean, if I'm being honest, of all the new tracks introduced in this game, there's not one I dislike or get bored of playing, which is something I definitely can't say about any other game in the series. Even the retro tracks in this game, while sometimes maybe a little bland, are still incredible and always fun to race on. My absolute favorite track in this game, and just favorite track in the entire series, is Toad's Factory. Everything about this course is just perfect. The music, which I'll elaborate more on later in this video, is incredible. The way the course is always moving and how you have to make decisions in the moment on what path you want to take. Like, for example, near the beginning you have these hydraulic press things. And if you go on the green conveyor belt below it, you get a boost to speed and go faster, but run the risk of getting crushed. You have to quickly time in your brain whether or not you'd get crushed taking that and if it's really worth it. I absolutely love this quick decision making the track offers for players who want to get the upper hand because in my opinion, that's what Mario Kart is all about. Making decisions in the heat of the moment and seeing if they work. Trying something new because you saw it in the corner of your eye. It really is a shame that Toad's Factory has never appeared in another Mario Kart game. It would be perfect in Deluxe, especially on 200cc. And while on the topic of tracks exclusive to this game, we have one of my personal favorites, Moonview Highway, a track all about racing on a highway. There's a track similar to it called Toad's Turnpike in Mario Kart 64 and 8 Deluxe. But I mean, Moonview Highway does the idea so much better. The track is very difficult because of all the moving cars on the road, but steering around and avoiding them, especially at high speeds, feels amazing. The aesthetic of this track is also one of the coolest in the series. I mean, look at this place and tell me you wouldn't want to commit multiple traffic law violations in it. One amazing track from this game that is featured in other Mario Kart titles is Coconut Mall. This track has been talked about to death, but for good reason. It's incredibly creative and so much fun to play. It has so many different paths and cool areas to explore, as well as having one of the most notorious out-of-bounds glitches in the entire series. I mean, who couldn't love this course? Well, other than this guy. The tracks in this game are amazing. They're also creative, colorful, unique, and special. You can really tell that Nintendo put a lot of effort into making these tracks the best they could possibly be, especially in the music department. There is not a single moment of silence in this game. Everywhere from the main menu, to the character selection, to the vehicle selection. Hell, they even made music specifically for waiting for someone with shitty internet to connect to an online lobby. And some of this background music for menus and waiting rooms does its job so well that a lot of the time you don't even notice it's there. But when you do, you gain a new appreciation for it because even little things like option music add a lot of charm to a game and help immerse the player even more in the world, which is one of the coolest things a game can do. But the ambient music isn't the only good music in this game. How could I possibly race on GBA Bowser's Castle 3 without its iconic song playing? Coconut Mall, Rainbow Road, Moo Moo Meadows, Maple Treeway, and many other tracks in this game have remarkable and iconic music that not only fits the vibe and aesthetic of the track, but also have the ability to push you forward while you race at high speeds through these different environments. I mean, there's a reason why a lot of people like to listen to Mario Kart music, especially Mario Kart Wii music, when they want to be productive. It just has this ability to get you going, and in a game like Mario Kart Wii where you're zooming around the corners of a factory and jumping out of fucking shopping malls, having a banger soundtrack is key to keeping the player engaged. Along with this, music is a way to trigger memories. For example, I could be listening to Mario Kart Wii music, and eventually the theme of Rainbow Road could come on, and I would be jamming out, but then a specific part would come on. The same part that came on when I clutched up a match last second by throwing a green shell at Baby Peach and 10-year-old me thought he was the best Mario Kart player in the world. I mean, I would have completely forgotten all about that cool childhood memory if it weren't for the music and how iconic and well made it was. But, if we're talking about iconic themes in Mario Kart Wii, I mean, who could forget this one? Although not the first Mario Kart game to introduce it, unlockable vehicles and characters were a big part of Mario Kart Wii, with a majority of characters and vehicles having to be unlocked through completing specific objectives. Like winning 25 Wi-Fi races, or beating 4 expert staff ghosts in time trials. I always thought specific objectives like these for unlockables were really cool because it makes the player explore different parts of the game they wouldn't have normally thought about exploring. Like, for example, time trials. A lot of people forget that Mario Kart even has this mode, but the time trials are a great way to get a better understanding of the tracks and try to go for a good time without having to worry about 33 red shells hitting you the entire time. I used to really enjoy when I was younger looking up on the internet how to unlock specific characters and vehicles so I could have everything, and how a lot of them required me to get decently good at the game to unlock. One thing I always struggled with getting good at though was the bikes. I still do today, but after learning more and more about them, I've started to appreciate them more. Bikes were a brand new addition in Mario Kart Wii and offered a different playstyle that just kinda never came back in future titles. I mean, they brought the bikes back, they just weren't as distinct anymore. In Mario Kart Wii, they allowed you to wheelie and get extra speed with the sacrifice of only being able to get a blue mini turbo out of a drift. They also turned much sharper and required you to be a lot more precise with your turns and offered a playstyle that is really hard to adjust to, but once you do, is incredibly fun and rewarding. Online multiplayer. One of the big things Nintendo was pushing with Mario Kart Wii because it was the first game in the series to offer it. And the online was incredible for the time. It was so fun to finally be able to play Mario Kart Wii with people from around the world. Every racer was a different person, a real person, and it just made the game feel so much more alive. Sometimes, however, you would join a lobby, wait for everyone to pick a track, wait for everyone to load, you're at the countdown, and then boom! 33 blue shells, bombs everywhere, red shells flying out of the air, lightning every 2 seconds, green shells lining the laws, just absolute chaos. But how are people doing this, you ask? Hacking. It was incredibly easy to hack your Wii with infinite item mods, and just as easy to go online with them due to a lack of anti-cheat because of how new online multiplayer was to Nintendo. But I mean, I'm not complaining, these lobbies were fun as fuck! One of the coolest things to experience in this game was being in one of these hacker games. It was absolute chaos as I said before, but it was hilarious. People could barely complete a lap, and when they did, the hacker was sitting at the finish line with another 50 red shells. I wish I could have experienced more of these, but the few I experienced are some of my fondest early memories with the game. But as the Wii era came to a close, and the Wii U became Nintendo's main focus, the Mario Kart Wii servers would eventually shut down on May 20th, 2014, just a few days before Mario Kart 8 would release on the Wii U, making it impossible to play Mario Kart Wii online ever again. Or so we thought! You see, before Nintendo shut down the servers for Mario Kart Wii, a group of dedicated fans came together and worked to create online servers that could be accessed as easily as inputting a custom DNS in the internet settings and installing software via the internet on your Wii without the need of an SD card or anything, making it incredibly easy for Wii owners to just keep playing Mario Kart Wii online. This service is called Wiifi and is still up to this day. Along with this, dedicated fans have also come together to make custom tracks and characters for Mario Kart Wii playable online through a mod called CTGP Revolution, that, unlike Wiifi, requires you to actually hack your Wii, which isn't too difficult, but not as easy as Wiifi's internet exploit. What I'm trying to say is that people love this game so much that they have gone out of their way to make their own online servers for people to just keep playing this game, and even created custom tracks and characters for those who want a new experience with the game. This community is unbelievably active and is full of amazingly talented people that just want to share the game they love with other people. Mario Kart Wii is a special game. It came out during a time where Nintendo was innovating and trying new things. They had just found immense success with both the DS and the Wii, and when it came to making a Mario Kart game for the Wii, they knew it had to be something special, something unique, and they absolutely delivered on that. Mario Kart Wii, just like the Wii itself, is something I feel like it could show to anyone and they could find some enjoyment out of it. Whether it be the high skill ceiling, the fun motion controls with the Wiimote and Wii Wheel, the online, the time trials. This could be nostalgia speaking, but this game has something for everyone and presents it all in a very charming way. I hope by watching this video, even if you don't agree with me on some of the things I've said, that you can at least understand why this game is loved by so many, and the small little things about this game that made it as highly praised as it is today.